Welcome to CLACCA ULC. My name is Mr. Rev Comrade Rowley. CLACCA ULC hasn't really done a morning service, so we're just going to go to our not on Christmas day. So this is something new for CLACCA ULC to do a Sunday morning church service. But earlier I filmed something that is a bit different. It's a bit different. It's a bit different, and I hope you like it. But it's got an important message behind it. So we're just going to share the link. And the reason why CLACCA ULC normally doesn't do mornings is because I'm not a morning person. We just thought but we thought we would do something a bit different this year. Yeah, so I'm just gonna share the links. I have to log in. Okay. I just have to share the links. You can see, I'm not a morning person because if I was, we would be slightly more. If I was a morning person, be slightly. There's a reason why I don't do Sunday morning churches. Church. Because I'm not an early I'm not an early riser unless I have to. I'm not an early riser. So yeah, that's why CLACCA USC doesn't do early mornings. But now we've logged in. We're just going to share the link on Facebook. book, and then okay, and we're just going to share the links to I'll be glad when I sort this out. Um, CLACCA ULC had to stop using live stream because we couldn't afford it. So we just do we stopped using StreamYard because because we have not been getting any donations. Um, so okay, I think we've got it. Got it. So we're just gonna now go to Clacky Orc's intro song. And song. We need Clacky OC needs a technology assistance. That's probably the big thing. Clacky OC needs right now a bloody technology assistant. Um, assistant. Let me just go into we're Clacky OC. We're so not a morning. Yeah, we're not morning people here at Clacky OC. See, okay. So I think it's good to go. Go. All right.
As he watches through the door, the smile pulls in wicked thoughts, shape wicked ways. While we all crave, while we all crave. When the man yells at his son, when he finds the smoking gun, don't you worry, little one, for we all crave, we all crave. Just a little time, no your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of you. You want to become in the end. When the snow is on her mind, rows and rows and lines in the haze of your fixation. We all crave, boy, we all crave. And you can kill the wildest thing. When you murder, it's a sin. In the midst of your conviction, we all crave, boy, we all crave. Just a little time, for your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of you. You want to become in the end. It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down, we're sticking together. It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down, we're sticking together. It's all war now.
I've known Reverend Comrade Raleigh since doing his learning agreement for pastoral education.
That was the wonderful Reverend Randy also. So wow. So we're gonna go to today's message. We're just gonna stop sharing that. So I would just like to welcome to CLACCA ULC. I would like to acknowledge that the land that we're meeting on is of the Gadigal and Wangal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to the elders, both past and present. Recognise sovereignty, treaty, and social justice has never been ceded. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. So the message that we're going to bring you today is one more Christmas, one less Christmas. Yes. Christmas. And Christmas is a time marked by hope, a hope that has become flesh in human history. This is what we are celebrating on that feast, what we Christians call the incarnation, using a term which paradoxically seems abstract, even though it designates a very concrete event. The great Christmas prophet Isaiah reminds us that the people who walked in darkness have seen great light. Perhaps in our own time, this darkness is found in the enormous poverty afflicting most of humankind, in the growing gap between nations and persons who use most of the planet's resources, and the peoples and persons whom the international economic order increasingly excludes from having access to the most basic goods of this world. But to tell the truth, real darkness is not found there, but rather in what causes it. This situation is the outcome of a deeper darkness. Its root, not the cause, lies in forgetting the human dignity of the poor and their status as children of God. It is that simple and that horrendous. Of course, this is also true for those who live in poor countries and turn their backs on their own peoples. To speak of poverty is to describe how things are. To speak of injustice is to evaluate this state of affairs morally. In fact, injustice constitutes the nucleus, if we can express it thus, of the darkness which we are speaking. In the thick of darkness, a lighted match, a spark, a firefly have an unusual reach, and they can get us out of trouble. For a few seconds, they enable us to see faces, to know that we are there, to glimpse at faces less depressed and fearful than what darkness might have made us think, to sense glances inviting us to dialogue and to collaborate. This animates us to turn on other lights and to break up the lack of communication. This is what many have done in these past years, during which we have come to a greater conscientization of the marginalization of and exclusion of so many persons. These efforts have awakened or disclosed, which comes to the same thing, the enormous reserves of solidarity and courage which exist in countless parts of the world, in rich as well as in poor countries. Countless people seek to give a Christian witness by creating organizations of solidarity and groups in defense of human rights. They confront economic systems that exclude the weakest members of society and make gestures of friendship towards this world's forgotten people. They are signs of light in the depth of darkness. By their commitment and generosity, they are small but contagious lights, which bring a ray of light in the thick of the night. The light is not at the end of the tunnel. It is in the tunnel itself. in the people journeying through it. Their role is to bring light in the tunnel, and even more to bring down its walls and ceiling, so that it may cease to be an obligatory, hemmed in path and become a wide open, luminous, and free avenue, leading us to righteousness and justice, and preparing us to welcome the Prince of Peace, Jesus of Nazareth, joy for all the people. If during these days the coming of the Lord sets our hearts on fire, and if we respond by our commitment and solidarity to the gift of love which God gives us in the child, we will become the fireflies who will gradually transform the threatening darkness into a human peace and luminous night. In this way, through us, the hope of seeing a great light will start to become a reality in an incarnate hope, like Jesus, who is reborn in us. In this case, it will have been one more Christmas in which our hope and joy will grow. If we withdraw out of selfishness or simply out of fear, it will have been one less Christmas in our lives. Now we're going to go to our next song of praise, which is Star of Bethel Green.
When I heard you sing, it felt like a christening, a baptism at the back of the bar. I fell under your spell. You sang my life so well. As your voice quivers with each line you deliver, I hear the orchestra as I stand in awe. I've felt so close to the Lord. I've tried my whole life to ignore. But love, I'm alive. Maybe the star of Bethnal Green could lead us back to Bethlehem. Lord, I tried. Maybe the star of Bethnal Green could lead us back to Bethlehem. When I heard you sing, it was a balm for the blister in my eyes, all swollen and scarred. Your hands guide mine over the rail. I felt each word without fail. Love, I'm alive. And maybe the star of Bethnal Green could lead us back to Bethlehem. Lord, I've tried. Maybe the star of Bethnal Green could lead us back to Bethlehem. Lord, I'm alive. Maybe the star of Bethnal Green could lead us back to Bethlehem, Lord. I've tried, and maybe the star of Bethnal Green could lead us back to Bethlehem.
Okay, we're just now. It's now time for open communion. On the night that Jesus was betrayed, Jesus took a loaf of bread and broke it and said, "This is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And Jesus took the cup and blessed it and said, "This cup is the new covenant of my blood, which is poured out for you. Do this in remembrance of me." This cup and this bread doesn't belong to the state. It doesn't belong to any church. It belongs to God, and all are welcome to the table without discrimination to share it. Please come and share in this meal. So, if you've got grape juice and bread, even tea, please do that now. We're now going to show our offering. We're now going to do our offering. If you would like to donate to CLACCA ULC's Fighting Fund, you can do so. You can do so at any St George bank at CLACCA Universal Life Church, St George Bank, BSB 112 495 470 290. Or alternatively, you can click on the Donate Now button. So our next song of praise, we're going to go with is have yourself a gay Christmas.
Snow is falling softly, glitter on the ground. Curious little winter wonderland in town. String the lights and rainbow, babe, let the colors play. We're making Christmas campus fucking every single way. So pour the Prosecco, turn the volume high. We're done with hiding this, you we shine. Have yourself a gay Christmas. Let the whole world know love is loud and bright tonight. We're stealing back the snow. Have yourself a fierce Christmas, bold enough to slay. 'Cause darling, we were born to sparkle every single day. Tinsel on the drag queens, baubles on the tree. Chosen family gather round the energy. We're laughing through the chaos, kissing under lights, dancing like we're free as fuck all winter's night. No, no more dull traditions, no more playing small. It's queer liberation decked in holly for us all. Have yourself a gay Christmas. Let the truth be seen. Joy is not a privilege, babe. It's our evergreen. Have yourself a loud Christmas. Do it your own way. 'Cause pride don't take a holiday. It's here with us to stay. Here's to every heart that's felt alone. Here's to every soul that made their own home. Here's to loving wild and loving true. This Christmas magic starts with you. Have yourself a gay Christmas. Let your spirit rise. No more shrinking who you are to fit in their disguise. Have yourself a warm Christmas, glowing every hue. This rainbow world is brighter, baby, 'cause of you.
At MyConnect, we know there's nothing better than chilling out.
Bloody ads. Yeah. Clacky will say can't afford YouTube Premium. That's why we're getting ads. Ads at the moment, which is really, really annoying. Annoying. So yeah, you can get YouTube ad free. You can get YouTube ad free, but you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. And yeah, Clacca ULC can't afford to. Clacca ULC can't afford to do it anymore. Because we. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Clacca ULC has not been getting yeah, we need donations for our Clacka ULC Fighting Fund, because there's a lot of stuff that I Yeah, just at this point in time, CLACCA ULC can't do. CLACCA ULC can't do the do and do because yeah, like do but so yeah, we need donations. We CLACCA ULC to needs both donations as well as volunteers. So if you want to volunteer your time or if you can afford to donate to CLACCA ULC's fighting fund, please do so. Do so because because at the moment where CLACCA ULC is really struggling. Is really struggling. I got invited last night to. I got invited. I got invited by somebody who was a friend of our church, Haley Wilson, to a Catholic church service. Service. I couldn't wait to. I really didn't want to. I hate the Catholic Church. I've never been Catholic, and I didn't really want to go, but it was something that Haley and John wanted to do. Haley and John wanted to do, and they've been asking me for years, and I've always said no. I've always said no on the grounds that yeah, like I don't like the Catholic Church. I hate the Catholic Church. Well, I've never been part of the Catholic Church as an adult survivor of church and state abuse in the Anglican Church. I have always refused. I've always refused to go to the Anglican Church. I've always refused to go to the Catholic Church because I have friends who were abused by the Catholic Church, and so that's why in all the years I won't even try it like yeah, like I didn't even consider the Catholic Church. I didn't even consider the Catholic Church and exploring ministry, and likewise I didn't even consider the Anglican Church because of those experiences. And I'm never going to recover from the injustice. That's why. That's why I. That's why I won't go. I won't go to those churches. I won't go to those churches, and I make it perfectly clear that anytime anybody says to me, I say to them, I'm not Catholic. I hate the Catholic Church. I hate the fucking Catholic Church. I would organize a protest against the fucking Catholic Church. So don't. But there's often confusion that being a liberation theologian or having a liberation hermeneutic, that liberation theology is a Catholic religion. When liberation theology, it's not a Catholic religion. Gustavo Gutierrez and Leonardo Boff, while they named Christian Marxism as liberation theology, liberation theology does not have its origins. Liberation theology is not a Catholic religion. It's not a Catholic religion, and I get fucking pissed off and I get fucking angry every time anybody even remotely suggests that liberation theology is a fucking Catholic religion. Religion. I fucking hate it. I really fucking hate the assumption, assumption, that everybody thinks that thinks that simply because the founders, the simply because the ones who named Christian Marxism or Christian socialism as liberation theology, as liberation theology, he happened to come from the Catholic Church, church. When we're someone, we're simply because we're people who founded a theology, etc. 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 Like it was founded in Latin America. It was founded in Latin America. That's the origins. And I don't think that I don't think like it's really like it's really fucking bullshit. The fact that everybody seems to assume that liberation theology comes from the fucking Catholic Church. Church, like all of us, we want to get fucking, we want to fucking organize a protest against every fucking man and his dog who can't get it into their thick skull. Liberation theology, it rejects the Catholic Church. It fucking hates it. It fucking hates it, and I am getting a little bit. I'm getting a little bit pissed off with everybody assuming that. Like liberation theology, it is not, and it never will be a Catholic religion. Religion. It's Christian. Like it's Christian Marxism. Like it's Christian Marxism. And it's Christian Marxism, and I think liberation theology. It also exists in other. It also exists in other religions. And so, to even remotely, like it's like saying, it's like suggesting that Catholic, like Christianity. It's like suggesting that Christianity came from the Catholic Church, when the fucking Catholic Church, they didn't invent the Catholic Church didn't invent Christianity. And like Christianity has always been here. And likewise socialism, which developed out of Christianity, that's always been here. It was a case of when it was a case of Christian Marxism. Christian Marxism Gustavo Garaz and Leonardo Boff, they only coined the phrase phrase, and that they only coined the phrase, like they wrote a blueprint. They basically they gave it a name of what was already going on amongst poor and oppressed people in Latin America. And they wrote it down. But liberation theology, like it's always existed since the time of Marx. And if you trace back Marx and Engels' history, socialism actually developed out of Christianity, because at the time, Marx and Engels had to work with the Christian left in order to establish the first socialist parties, because like it was just parties, and so they had to work with like they had to work with like their forces to establish it. Anyway, I hope you have a good Christmas day. Clacca ULC is going to the Wayside Chapel. Is going to the Wayside Chapel. Chapel. I was going to show. I was going to show a video. I was going to show a video. Video in Clacca ULC that I filmed earlier. But it could be considered controversial. I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is that I am going to post. I am going to upload the video footage, but I am going to treat it as a separate video. I'm going to treat it as a separate video, and then I will upload it to YouTube. I will upload it to YouTube. I will upload it to YouTube, and then if tube today because it's got an important Christmas message. It's got an important Christmas message in it. That is it's relevant. It's relevant. So and it's like it's completely and utterly relevant. So I'm going to, but it could be considered. It could be considered controversial. It could be considered controversial. It's something different that Clacca ULC has never done. It's something different. Like it's something different that Clacca ULC has never done. So what I'm gonna do with it because I haven't had anyone to review it or film it. I haven't had anyone to review it. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna share it with our church committee, Clacca ULC's church committee, local church committee, because they'll tell me they'll tell me whether they consider this video to be okay or not. If it's all good, if they don't, if Clacca ULC, my local branch, they don't have a problem with it, then I will show it as part of Clacca ULC's Sunday church service, because it could be considered controversial, etc., and I kind of want to run it. And it's a different style. It's more progressive. It's got a relevant Christmas message. It's got a relevant Christmas message in it. It could be considered, but it could be considered controversial. So I just want to run it past Clacca ULC's. I just want to run it past Clacca ULC's messenger team to see if they're all cool with it. If they're all cool with it, and I'm going to treat it as a separate video. I will upload it. I will upload it to YouTube. I will upload it to YouTube. And if the video, and then that way, if I have to pull it down, because it's considered to be down. Then it can be treated as it's not going to affect Clacca ULC's church services. I personally think that it's a relevant Christmas message, but and it's something a bit different that Clacca ULC. It highlights an important Christmas message, but I want somebody to check it want somebody to check it before I show it in a CLACCA ULC Sunday church service, if that makes sense. Sense. Sense because I have to make sure when I put it up there that I'm going to have people behind me. I'm going to have people behind me, so to speak, but I personally think that there's nothing wrong with the message. I think the message, the Christmas message, is completely relevant, but I just really want to check. I just want a third person to check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat it as a separate video. I'm still going to upload it, but I'm going to treat it as a separate video. I'm going to treat it as a separate video because like it wasn't pre-planned. It wasn't pre-planned. And it was something. It was something done on the spur of the moment. And so I just want to. At the moment, I want to treat it as a separate video. I want to treat it as a separate video, and to see what you, the audience, think of it. If you like the style, etc., then I will include it. I will include it as part of CLACCA. I will do that. I will work towards incorporating that style or that format. Work towards including those kind of format videos in CLACCA ULC, within CLACCA ULC. See in any event, but at the moment I'm going to treat it as a separate video. Because, as I said, look, it's something a little bit different. And I haven't. It's got a relevant Christmas message for 2025. But I want to treat it as a separate video. From CLACCA ULC Sunday church services, services. So that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm still going to So you will be able to view the video. You'll be able to view the video as a separate video. As soon as I filmed it via my mobile phone this morning. This morning on Christmas morning. But yeah, look, it's something that it's something that it's something that's I've wanted to for a really, really long time. I've wanted to incorporate the real. I've wanted to incorporate outside this Sunday church space. The thing that I have wanted to do for a really, really long time. And I've done documentary style videos, etc. But before, in relation to my transgender affirmation, etc. But throughout the course of the duration of doing these CLACCA ULC live stream Sunday church services, the thing that I haven't done, I haven't done really, and CLACCA ULC, like we've had the odd guest speaker, etc., but I want to start incorporating and because there's a lot of work that CLACCA ULC does outside of there's a lot of work that CLACCA ULC does outside of the four walls of the outside of Sunday church services, and so what I want to do, or what and I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do this since the beginning of CLACCA ULC, since of incorporating addressing of as part of the Sunday church service because when I first started this CLACCA ULC YouTube channel, it started as a channel. Initially, I started doing YouTube channel. Initially, I set up a YouTube channel basically to document my medical and legal transition as a trans guy. And it was called FDM Support Advice and Activism, and that was good. It was good. I really enjoyed putting together those videos, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work to get them into a format, into a realistic format, and we don't have technology assistance in CLACCA or in CLACCA ULC, but I did enjoy. I loved doing those documentary style videos, because I trained as a journalist. I trained as a green left journalist, journalist, recording rallies and protests, and I've been an MEAA union member in a really long time, and I completed a journalism degree, and I also did. I completed a journalism degree, and I actually didn't quite finish my Bachelor of Communications in journalism, but I completed my diploma in communications and media, and the part that I am, and I really enjoyed doing those documentary style stuff of addressing real injustices in this world, and so I kind of want to incorporate. I've felt really called for a really, really long time to incorporate, because an important part of the work that CLACCA ULC does is the activism stuff. Because CLACCA ULC, for CLACCA ULC, it's important. It's the activists. Without the activism, there is no CLACCA ULC. The three things that CLACCA ULC when I got called to be an ordained minister, I did not want a welfare church. I'm not qualified to do welfare. I'm not qualified to do welfare. B, I'm on a disability support pension, and C, when I started this church, it started with no money. I started this church with no money, etc. And CLACCA ULC, we've never gotten corporate sponsorship. And it's a whole heap of bureaucratic red tape. Tape. Basically, you got to go through, etc. So it was never. CLACCA ULC was never going to CLACCA ULC was never going to be a welfare church, because I've been to them and they give handouts, but they don't give a hand up. That they give her handouts, but they don't give a hand up. And so and CLACCA ULC has never we've never had the resources to be a welfare church. We don't get donations. Or we don't get donations. Asians. And most, we don't get weekly Sunday church donations. And likewise, we don't get weekly Sunday church donations. Asians. So CLACCA ULC, we can never be a welfare church. We church, because you've got to have somebody with qualifications. You got to have somebody with qualifications to be to legally do welfare in a church. You've got to have somebody who is qualified who to be a welfare worker in the area. In the area, not just anybody not just anybody can do it. To do it, you've got to have somebody, because the type of cases you get on board, you're dealing with cases of people who have been fucking raped. You're dealing with cases that in which people's fucking kids have been taken off them. You're dealing with people who have got homeless issues, etc. You're dealing with some pretty full-on fucking real issues, full-on friggin' issues. And I did study a Cert 3, a Cert 3 in community services, welfare youth work, and I fucking quit it. The bureaucratic red tape that you've got to go through just to do the qualifications, and experience, etc. It wasn't, and I really didn't go any further than the certificate 3. And the qualifications now, it was 2001, so it's about 26 years out of date, and they're supposed to be a qualified welfare worker. You've got to keep your qualifications up to date, but basically the legal requirements to do welfare, because essentially what happens, because CLACCA ULC has done it before, police come and shut you down. They go, where's your fucking license to do fucking welfare? Fair, they really fucking do. And CLACCA ULC doesn't have the fucking resources. CLACCA ULC does not have the fucking resources. We don't have a legal team behind us, highness. And if I get taken to court, by the friggin' police, I basically have to legally represent myself, because I can't get a fucking lawyer. I can't get a fucking lawyer, because even though I'm eligible for legal aid, I often can't get legal unless I am locked up in police custody. I can't get legal representation. Asian, so effectively, yeah. So CLACCA ULC, like it was never going to be a welfare church. Like we don't have and the reality, like the little reality is that they really do, and that they really do shut down organisations. Asians, if you don't have at least one qualified caseworker, if you don't have at least one qualified caseworker, worker who is a qualified welfare worker, they do really shut down the friggin' organisation. And look, certainly other and the other thing too is that there are plenty of other organisations that do the welfare stuff like and likewise like CLACCA USC, like basically my house is it like CLACCA USC. We've got no money to rent a weekly church space. Space. Like we tried for 4 weeks, and I was basically having to use my rent money. I was basically having to use my rent money to pay for hire a weekly church space. And so I wound up, I give the fucking keys back. So basically you have to make sure that you have a space to set up doing welfare, fair, etc. And my house, it's not set up to be a welfare center. Like it's a housing, like it's a Homes New South Wales property. The property, and my affordable, like my house, it's not set up to do freaking welfare. Like I was given. Like I had to fight for affordable housing to live in. Like I had to fight for. I was on a waiting list because I was homeless. I was on a waiting list for 8 years. For affordable housing to live in. And yeah. Look, and people used to want me to have somebody to have somebody else to live in my fucking house. House. Who were homeless, etc. But my house, like it's not fucking set up to do that. To do that because it's not set up to do that. And I found myself in the situation of basically like of basically also having to do fucking welfare, of basically also having to assist them with their fucking welfare needs when that's not my job. Job. When that was not my job. Job, like, you know, I'm just a friggin' tenant. I'm just a friggin' tenant. I'm not a I'm not a caseworker. I'm not a caseworker. And I'm not a caseworker. And it's not my job to. While I am happy to protest for affordable housing, and certainly, you know, happy to make calls to help people get affordable housing. But it's something that's like I couldn't keep on doing because the individuals that I was taking on board, the individuals that I was taking on board while they were homeless, etc., and they needed housing to stay in in every single case, in every single case, I would get ripped off. I would get burned out. I would get physically fucking assaulted. Assaulted. I would wind up having to spend 24/7 helping them with their fucking welfare needs. And so net needs, and I wouldn't even have to net needs, and I would find myself in a situation of of constantly basically having to give my whole disability support pension to help fucking them, and I would have no food. I would be struggling to pay my fucking rent, etc. So I couldn't do it. Do it combined with the fact that they would usually wind up physically assaulting me, etc. And so I wound up saying fucking no more to it, no more to it. And there was only really one good flatmate that I had, and that was Craig Redroff. And he died. Yeah, I've basically, I will make calls. Like if someone needs affordable housing to live in, I will make calls and refer them, etc. But basically, it's a boundary issue, and for me in CLACCA ULC, in terms of my home life, life, because I have a tendency of wanting to help everybody, for me personally, if I spend 24/7 of my time helping everybody, while not taking any time to take care of my own needs, it's really fucking burning out and doubt. And so I had to maintain a separation between that. So when I'm talking about incorporating the activist parts within CLACCA ULC, I will not be I'm talking about the activism stuff. I'm talking about the education stuff, etc., as part of the CLACCA ULC chair service. So, anyway, I have. So the video that I published, look, it only goes for about 6 or 7 minutes. I'm going to treat it as a separate video. I'm going to upload it, load it. You tell me what you think about it, if you like it, etc., etc. But by treating it as a separate video to see how it goes, goes. You, the audience, can decide whether you like that style or whether you think I should don't do that style again. Again, in any event. That's all for now. So basically, I'm going to the Wayside Chapel Christmas event, and then after that, I am then going to go. Then we're gonna come back here at CLACCA ULC. We're gonna come back here at CLACCA ULC for we'll try and do it from 5 o'clock. CLACCA ULC Sunday church service, yeah, that's all for now. Thank you very much. God bless, and bye.